I'm Michelle Ely from the Starlight Tribune, an Arrow TV show fan podcast, part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other amazing geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 348 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, February 17th, 2019. And no, we don't have an awesome special guest for you guys this week. We're sorry. We can't do that every week. Willie, you're a regular. Don't give me that look.
I'm always a special guest.
You haven't guested on this show for like 150 episodes.
You're special.
Probably
and
more.
a guest-ish. Fair enough.
I mean, I could go back and look, but I'm lazy.
All right, I'm just going to go back to being mute myself because that's what's best for everybody.
Who said that? You're putting words in our mouth here. He's talking to us right now while he's turned off, but I'm very confused as to...
He's not talking. He's just wiggling his hands.
I'm very confused as to how this became what's best for everyone. I paid him a compliment by calling him a regular. Willie, you're a regular.
I'm muting myself.
Well, but why?
Because you know you don't want me talking. I pervert everything.
No, I don't mind
apparently.
your talking. I just don't want you singing all the time. There's a difference. Because I don't want a copyright strike. That's mostly what it comes down to.
And my problem is I also interrupt your introduction, so I'm going to let you finish that.
But you didn't interrupt my introduction. I'm very confused. Okay, so Willie's here, and you guys can't hear him because he muted himself. I'm here just like normal. And of course, Anthony's joined us.
I'm here. I just keep muting myself because I'm sneezing.
It's whatever. It happens.
I'm sorry, Willie.
So I may have a story that I teased in the pre-show. I teased in the pre-show last week, and I forgot to even tell.
So why don't you set it up for us?
So I haven't always been the horror movie fan. I've always been, or I did like the horror movies, but they scared me. Even though I was always like a big kid, scary movies would get to me. They don't anymore. And there's one little thing that helps me out with that, or it did help me out with that.
And what is that, good sir?
Well, do you remember a little movie by the name of Austin Powers?
I do. It's Shagadelic, baby.
And, of course, you know this movie had many a merchandise.
Yes, that was on just about everything.
So I got... let me set this up. So I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street 3, I believe it was, The Dream Warriors. I'm pretty sure that's I'm pretty sure it was that one, number 3. I believe it was that one.
The Return of Nancy.
And I was a little... Well, yeah, it's not the gay agenda one.
Nope, that's 2, Freddy's Revenge.
I know, yeah. That was weird. It's weird how they went that way. I mean, it was kind of cool. Whatever. But, yeah, so I was getting a little freaked out, and I saw this on my desk right beside me. And I was like, oh, maybe this might help me. It was a little Austin Powers head, and it had 4 buttons on the bottom. And he would say different phrases like, yeah, baby. And, you know, stuff like that. And every time I would get a little too scared or freaked out, I pressed the button, and it made me feel better. And it helped me get over my fear of the horror movies. And that's how I am the way I am today, is thanks to Austin Powers.
So Austin Powers cured you of your fear of horror movies. Do you still have Austin Powers in case this becomes an issue again?
That I have no idea where that head went. It might be in a box somewhere. It could not be in a box somewhere.
We can find you an Austin Powers soundboard to put on your phone, perhaps.
So what I'm hearing is this is all Mike Myers' fault, is what I'm hearing.
I mean...
Yes, Halloween was always a problem. You're correct.
I wasn't sure which Mike Myers you meant.
That's why I said Mike Myers, not Michael Myers.
This is just like the bit in Baby Driver.
Yep.
I
So
love
did you get
that
Michael
bit.
Myers masks? These are Michael Myers masks.
No, Halloween. This is a Halloween mask.
This is a Halloween mask.
No, the guy from Halloween. Oh, you mean Jason? It was a good bit.
Yeah, that dude.
But whatever. That's my story. I know it probably wasn't all that good.
It's okay. It's a tie into last week where we found out about how David's mom thinks he still loves Austin Powers way too much.
That's true.
That's what made me think of it last week. And then I was just too dumb to remember.
Well, we were distracted by the captivating tale of Spencer and Locke.
That's true.
I know I was.
Did you pre-order it yet?
No, but I did order volume 1. And I'm going to use. Apparently, there's a code you can use at comic book stores to get it, like pre-order it. I just found out under his Twitter. So when I pick up the volume 1, probably this Wednesday, I'm going to go up and I'm going to say, "Hey, can I also pre-order this this book right here?"
You should
The
just be
first
able to
issue.
tell them to pre-order it for you unless there's a specific variant you were asking for.
Yeah, because there's 3 covers. That's why there's 3 different codes.
Yeah.
That's what the 3 codes are.
I have no idea. I've never done that kind of thing at a comic book store.
Okay, Willie. So you know, and everybody else knows, every single comic book in the world has to be pre-ordered 2 months ahead of time before it gets released. So that's why comic book stores have so much trouble with their inventory, is because they have to order stuff, and then it comes in 2 months later, and then people don't pick it up, and they get screwed over. But all the inventory of every comic book item in the shop comes from a company called Diamond through Preview's catalog. The Preview's catalog shows up almost 3 months beforehand so that you get a chance to order out of that magazine, but the order has to go in 2 months before it's due. So every single comic book, every single month has a pre-orders preview code for it. So there's a code in every month's issue for every Spider-Man, every Batman, every Superman comic, every month. So yeah, anything you want, your comic book store, if they can order it, they order it with that code through Diamond.
Well, I'll try and get to that when I go back up Wednesday.
Yeah, and really it should just be as simple as going, hey, there's a book coming out called Spencer and Locke. I really want to pre-order it.
Yeah.
They should be able just to put a pull list together for you.
Yeah, they'll pull out the previews and they'll look up the code. You don't have to know the codes, but if you do, it makes it easier.
I know I'm stupid. It's okay. But
Then
I'll
we're
just
educating you because you haven't done it
I did.
before.
Well, I did screenshot the code just in case.
Well, that's good.
So-
It's not a bad thing to have that. It's just in most cases you don't need that. You just tell the folks at your local comic shop, hey, I'm interested in such and such book, and they'll look it up and put it on a pull list.
Having the code just makes it easier because they don't even have to look it up. They'll just put the code on their order form.
Now we need that The More You Know music to play. I don't have it.
Yep.
And I'm not allowed to have it.
Ding,
Because...
ding, ding, ding.
Just do the porn music.
Oh, you mean this one?
The more you dick.
Oh.
Oh, education through porn.
At least I didn't misfire and hit this one.
Well, that's our other porn sound.
That's for porn and pony when we play porn or pony rather when we play that game.
Like I said, that's our other porn sound.
It's kind of sad that both do exist at the same time together.
So you want me to hit both at the same time is what you're saying?
Oh wait,
Let's see what happens here. It doesn't work. I can't hit two at the same time.
no, you got to do the porn bump and then the pony bump.
There. Is that better? That's both porn and pony. That will be the new twist to porn or pony. Now we'll do ones that are both.
I guess.
Well, no, that doesn't really work. Yeah, it might. We'll find a way.
Mr. Hand.
It'll be called porn and or pony. That's the plan.
I worked it in, and you didn't even notice. Does no one remember Mr. Hand?
Vaguely.
I don't think you do, because there's nothing vague about that. The whole story is he died by getting horsed.
I had no idea,
Gross.
Willie. I don't even know how to respond to that.
How's the new Willie character going?
Well, he's kind of boring.
He's apathetic.
I'm not sure I care for apathetic Willie. And Willie, you're the one that generally brings like the high energy to the show.
I know, I'm just a disappointment.
God.
Well, this is backfiring horribly because in my role as like master of ceremonies, for lack of a better term, I can't be the high energy one.
Yeah,
Well,
our MC Chris has work to do.
I do love MC Chris.
Well, our Chris has referred to himself as a master of ceremonies, so apparently now he's MC Chris.
Well, would you rather just say lead host or something like that? Master of ceremonies sounds far more distinguished.
It
I
does,
mean-
and I like the idea of calling you MC Chris, so that works.
I mean, I'm used to being wrong, so it's whatever.
We already got Willie Nelson. Why not have Willie Nelson and MC Chris on one podcast? Who else can claim that shit?
I'm not the Willie Nelson. No one cares about me.
No one
All
said
right.
that. You have fans here, Willie. We've had people have come in and be like, "Hey, where's Willie?" Sometimes it's true.
What? Has that happened?
That has happened. Draftsman has come in before and be like, "Hey, where's Willie?" When Willie hasn't been on.
That's because Draftsman loves the status quo.
The status will no longer be
I'm trying to be
quo.
nice, Willie, and it feels like I'm just like kicking you when you're down. Not even on purpose.
Well, I mean, do you know who my hero is?
Willie Nelson.
Marvin the robot.
Eeyore. Of
Eeyore.
course, no one would know.
The first suicidal children's cartoon character.
One day it will happen.
Oh Jesus!
Okay. All right, that
You
one broke me. That one broke me.
Thank God. Human fetus.
That got
Stop.
really dark there.
I mean, we're all gonna die someday.
That is true. I suppose that is true. I have no idea how to segue out of that to say, hey, we're not going to die. We're going to talk about some new stuff.
You don't know what's
Live
gonna
from the
happen.
ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
So the news of the week, it's that part of the show where we run down what is in our minds some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up in the past week and share it with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date. And Willie, I'm going to let you kick things off because this one's an interesting one. We go to Willie for a lot of our gaming news and gaming first impressions. So, Willie, what do you got for us this week?
Well, Chris, this week I'm going to tell you about two different gaming stories because
Not
I
one.
only know half about each, so that makes one full one.
I like it.
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is Apex Legends. That came out of nowhere last week.
And I don't understand EA's logic here to drop a game like that 2 weeks before Anthem comes out that's supposed to be their new online living world game.
Because EA had nothing to do with it. It just has their name on it.
No, the EA controls when it goes out.
But I'm happy they did this, and there was just no news about it until it was just like, hey, the weekend before. That's what I heard about. I was like, we're putting out this game. It's free to play by Respawn, the makers of Titanfall. I'm like, okay,
And set in
Battle
the
Royale?
Titanfall world.
Is it?
It is. Takes place
I
like
don't-
30 years after Titanfall 2.
I don't really care about that part. I don't really care. I mean, some people do, but I don't really care about the story of Titanfall myself. Didn't get into it. That's just me. I'm not saying it's bad if you did. I'm just saying I didn't. Didn't hook me.
Well, the other reason I brought that up is because it led to a lot of people going, wait, it's a sequel to Titanfall. Where's our wall running and where's our Titans?
I'm okay with that because this is pretty much a hero shooter with a battle royale mode. So it's like Overwatch mixed with Fortnite, just without that building bullshit.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
So yeah, every character is a little different. They all have different abilities. Sometimes you forget to use them because I'm a dumbass.
Me too.
Of course. But yeah, I've been having lots of fun with it. I just really need one more trophy to make that platinum so easy to get. And that's I need to win with a defensive character. And I really do not like Gibraltar all that much. So I had to wait to save up my points to get Caustic. And he's pretty fun. So that's the one more win with that one because I've won 4 times so far. Not much at all, but those wins did feel good. But what I really do want to tell you is the numbers to this game because that's really crazy. And now these numbers are from the first week because there's no updated because Chris gave me these numbers.
I gave
That's
you the
behind the
numbers
thing.
from last week when I was going to talk about this.
Yeah. So So they had 10 million players in 3 days. That's pretty big numbers. But the more amazing thing is, they had 2.5 million players in the first 24 hours. And I think, do you remember how many they had concurrent at one time? Was that like 600,000?
No, it was
or
a
more than
million.
that? Oh, it was a million all at once?
They had 1 million concurrent players. Yep. Within
So
the first week.
So that's some big stuff right there.
Especially for a game that came out of nowhere. I mean, literally, everyone's like, "Wait, Respawn's putting out a new game? It's a battle royale? What the hell?"
And I've been having fun with it. So I've been splitting off from doing that and playing Dead by Daylight. So it's actually pulled me away from Dead by Daylight. That should tell you something. And I did get another game just last night. I will get into that, into what I'm into later in the show. So it's a mystery. But my second gaming news, since I'm only half-baked here on each of my stories, I'm only going by the headline in this one, so I didn't read shit. I'm a rebel news anchor. What can I do? So apparently Ireland is going to be joining Belgium and saying, "Fuck off, loot boxes. We didn't want you here. Fuck off, you cunts." I know it's a British,
That was,
yeah, but you make it
that
to
was
Irish
terrible.
in your head. I know.
Oh crap! I brought Apathetic Willie back.
But seriously, I mean, if it's anything, if this happens the same way, EA is probably going to tell the people of Ireland to also protest their government so we can make you pay us more money. I mean, because that's literally what EA is trying to do. They're trying to get the people of Belgium to protest their government for loot boxes.
So
Isn't that special?
I don't necessarily begrudge loot boxes in these free-to-play games if it is like how Blizzard's doing it and how they're doing it in Apex Legends, where it is cosmetics. Because I don't care about that. I'm not going to plunk $50 down to try and get the coolest new rifle skin or character skin. But if I have to pay to win, that's where it's a problem. And that is where I believe legislation should be in place to kind of stop pay-to-win experiences.
You mean like in most other EA games, like the big one in Europe, FIFA, where you use pretty much a pay-to-win for I forget what mode it is, where you get those little cards with the different characters.
It's
or,
the ultimate game
players.
because it's like the Madden Ultimate Team stuff for the Madden games. It's whatever their ultimate team is in FIFA.
I've never played FIFA really, so I don't know. I'm not much of a sports video gamer at all. So that's my stance on it. I doubt I ever will unless it's free to play, and I might give it like 20 minutes. Like, okay, that's fun. I'll delete it now. But yeah, I mean, Ireland, I think is good. I mean, I think like seriously, the same thing you're saying. The loot boxes that are just cosmetics, I think those are okay. Like those should be just okay, especially in free to play games like Apex. Like all the weapons are there. You just have to find them in the match. Now, what skins they have, what skins you have for your character, what, emotes you have or whatever, finishers, that's all nothing that really affects the gameplay. So, I mean, just, your quality of life, I guess, if it were. And that's A-okay to me. There's nothing wrong with that. Overwatch. Sure, it's a full $60 game that has, like, micro, or, it's still a full price. Is it still full price? Or it goes on sale all the time. So
It's on sale all the time, like 20 or 30 bucks. There's a lot of talk based off of how some of these battle royale games are working out as to whether Blizzard should make it free to play.
Nah, I think it's still worth it. It doesn't need to go free to play, like Dead by Daylight needs to, and keep everything the exact same because all those cosmetics cost way too much. You have to play for too much just to get any cosmetics.
The Dead by Daylight ones are ridiculous. Especially after Anthem, have you seen they released their information? What they, people flipped out about the supposed cosmetic costs, and then from the stuff that's in the store at launch day on the 15th, like you could buy all of it for $30, where before some of the skins were marked as if they would have been at $20 just for a skin. So yeah, they lowered their prices on Anthem. So yeah, the shit on Dead by Daylight is goddamn outrageous. Where an outfit costs twice as much as a character.
But here's the thing, some people will pay for it. That's why it's priced like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that also brings here. Do we have any more to talk about these loot boxes? Because I also have a third news story for you. That's going to be really quickly. I just thought of it. I just
Go
remembered.
for it, Willie. I got nothing.
So, talk about Dead by Daylight. They have not got their shit together with the consoles. Matchmaking is still a pain in the fucking ass. And yeah, all those cosmetics are still a pain in the ass. So instead of like announcing, hey, here's the things we're going to be fixing it and how we're going to do it, like, no. We can't get it running properly on these systems. Let's announce that we're going to release it for the Switch in the fall. Because that's going to be great. I cannot wait to see how this game will play on the Switch.
Willie, there's no reason for behavior to try to fix any of the problems right now on PS4 and Xbox until they have the dedicated servers.
What the fuck is taking them so goddamn long?
They have a set time of when that's going to happen, so they're probably actually building their server farm right now. That's actually buying and setting up hardware. That's not the easiest thing in the world.
I'm not even sure if that's even going to fix them. What I hear the main problem is lobby dodgers. That's why I hear a lot of the problems are. When people like even survivors or killers, they see like a whole group of 4 survivors come in, so they must be surviving with friends. Nope. Disconnecting. Going to try again. And people just coming into match. That's what's making the matchmaking I hear is so bad. Because it takes forever to get into a match. Why am I sitting here with 3 other people and all I need to do is find one killer and it takes 20 to 30 minutes to do that? Just for them to disconnect on us and we have to wait even longer. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that part's ridiculous, but they're addressing that stuff before they have the dedicated servers in is a waste of time. They would have to make changes to the programming of the entire system on both sides, the client on the killer client side and the survivors client side, and then as soon as the dedicated servers are up, they would have to go back and refix all that stuff anyways. But it would be creating double work.
And my also other problem is, I mean, like, how well is it going to run on the Switch? I mean, obviously it's not going to look as good because, I mean, it's a Switch. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
That I don't know.
But, I mean, you go back and look at historically, look at Ark Survival. Look how terrible that runs and how many frames it runs. And look at WWE, the one game they released, because they didn't do it this year. They said, oh, we fucked up bad. We're not even going to attempt this one again. So that's a little worrisome. So you got your triple dose of Willie news this week. Congratulations.
Thank you. No, in all seriousness, though, you have to fix the problems with matchmaking. Otherwise, you're going to lose people before you... and then you'll have a bunch of servers stood up and nobody's playing on them because people are going to get pissed off and be like, I'm annoyed with this game. There's plenty of other choices to go play when it comes to my online games.
You know what would actually make me buy it again for the or I didn't technically buy it the first time, it was this PS Plus. You know what would make me buy it for the Switch though?
What's that, Willie?
You choose your survivor and you're just working on a generator, and then all of a sudden you hear the Nintendo Switch exclusive killer. You hear
It's a mini Wario.
It's Waluigi. Fucking shit, run!
We can't get him in Smash, so maybe we'll get him in Dead by Daylight, right?
That would be fucking amazing. Hell, they did it for Rocket League. They had like little Nintendo exclusives things for that.
That's true.
I still hope that's not the next killer.
I mean, exclusively for the Switch. I mean, obviously you couldn't get it for anything else. That would
which
be
also makes
amazing.
me in no way want that. I don't want fucking console exclusive killers. That's fucking stupid.
I'm not gonna rape ya.
Well, I don't think Nintendo would sign off on that, Willie.
Probably
They
not.
should. It'd be hilarious though, wouldn't it?
You'd be taking someone's childhood character and turning it into a rapist, so I'm not sure how hilarious that part of it is. But putting Waluigi in the game, however, would be pretty great.
Thank you. That's all I care about. Just hearing that I'm right.
So I wanted to step back.
That's all he heard.
I wanted to step back a second. Your trifecta of news. Apex Legends. I wonder how this impacts Anthem numbers, or if it does at all, or if we'll ever really know.
I don't think it's going to affect it too much because it is free to play. You don't need to buy anything to get into it. So I don't think.
So,
but player base, ooh, you might have a point.
Player
there,
base
right?
is more what I was meaning, because now Reddit is not like the accurate testing ground for everything. But if you start going through some of the subreddits for gaming and things, people are going, I'm a bit more interested in Apex Legends right now. I can hold off on Anthem, and if I wait 6-9 months, the price will drop, and then maybe I'll pick it up. So I wonder if they just kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit. Because Apex Legends is really good. The Respawn team, they're very good at putting together a good game.
You haven't been playing with us, so where you been playing it? Huh, Chris?
I played a little on Xbox.
You been cheating on us?
I haven't been cheating on you. I haven't had a ton of time for gaming. I've only put about another hour in on the game, and I played that on Xbox with a couple friends of mine.
Your new name is now MC Dirty Dick.
Jesus.
Okay. Well, it's not the only game I've been playing. I took a break from playing a different game, which I too will talk about and what I'm into and share with you guys.
Ooh, more foreshadowing. We
More
have all the foreshadowings.
Tease, tease, tease.
Speaking.
I don't think it could hurt their player base that much because it's a very different type of game. Like, there's no going through a story mode and doing dungeons and any of that stuff in any of the
There's only so
shooters.
much time to play in a week.
True.
That's
True.
more of what it gets down to.
And there is crossover to people who enjoy, people enjoy Anthem and people who enjoy the Battle Royale Apex thing. There's that Venn diagram. There's a big,
Well, all I know is once Anthem actually comes out on Friday, I'm probably done playing Overwatch or Apex Legends or any of those games. And I'll never fucking play Fortnite again. Fuck that game.
Don't blame
Especially now that Apex Legends exists, I have no reason to play Fortnite or Overwatch. Because that's the fun version of those two games.
And the controls are really tight in Apex Legends. I'm pretty pleased with how well things are schemed out there. It's like playing Titanfall, basically. I would love to have a Titanfall 3, though. I'm still kind of bummed it seems like the Titanfall franchise is dead to give us Apex Legends. But we'll see what happens. And they have made a point of, at least on the Apex Legends subreddit, talking about how they're going to do more community events and things like that. So it sounds like they're really going to be pushing hard to become another viable alternative like PUBG and Fortnite and stuff like that.
Are you saying they're going to be pushing it real good?
No, I am not saying that at all.
No, you didn't.
I'll put those words in your mouth.
I am
No.
interested to see what they do for like their first holiday event, like if there's holiday-based skins and stuff. If they go like the Overwatch route,
They're having it right now.
I believe they
You
are,
get that little. They have that Valentine's Day heart you can get for your.
I mean
badge.
that's a little icon for a badge. I'm talking about actual skins, actual
I know.
weapon upgrades. See if they do the full-on Overwatch thing. Where Overwatch for every event now, there's skins, there's emotes, there's the voice lines, and Apex has all of those things in there. So they have the ability to basically do the exact same type of loadout for every holiday, where you have different skins, different they call them quips on Apex. You could have the different quips, you could have the different emotes. There's the option.
And I thought that the voice for Mirage was Nolan North. I don't think it is, though. It sounds just like Nolan North, though. Chris, I know you know who Nolan North is, don't you?
I do know who Nolan North is.
One of the best voice actors in the business.
That is true.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker's also a phenomenal voice actor.
Yeah, he is.
Let's
But
be
he's
fair
no
here.
Nolan North. I did just see a little clip of both of them, and he's like, "Yeah, Nolan North said something," and then Troy Baker's like, "You know, you're not really Nathan, right?" He's like, "You shut your little mouth. You shut
Mirage is Roger Craig Smith.
it." He sounds like Nolan. It sounds just like him. It sounds like Nathan Drake.
It does. So
Let's see. He's done voices in Assassin's Creed, Arkham Origins, Avengers Assemble, and If You Give a Mouse a Cookie are his four best known on IMDb. He has 256 voice credits as an actor on IMDb, so this is a motherfucker that's been working.
I'm picturing someone giving a mouse a cookie, and it's hilarious.
Oh, and apparently
So
Mirage is also the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in the new Team Sonic Racing.
Interesting.
Although those games are fucking fun as hell.
Yeah, I'd
The
rather
Team
play
Sonic
Mario
Racing.
Kart.
I'm saying they're both great in their own way.
I only
I'm
have
sorry.
room in my heart for one racing game, and it's Mario Kart. I'm sorry.
Oh, when Crash Team Racing comes out, oh yeah, that's gonna be dethroned.
No, it's not.
Crash Team Racing, people will argue with that. Diddy Kong Racing, there you go.
I would
People
love to
definitely
see
argue
another
with that
Diddy
one.
Kong Racing.
I'd just love to see you diddle.
Oh, God. We should have known it was going to happen.
All right, we're going to transition out of this before Willie turns it even worse. Let's talk about Pokemon Go, something we haven't talked about in a while here.
God damn it, Chris, do we have to?
Yes.
This is torture for Willie. So There is a lawsuit that has been filed against Niantic, the creators of Pokemon Go, that started first
Good.
back in 2016, back when the game first started. People were going crazy. It was filed by numerous homeowners who believed the company had caused players to trespass on their property to catch Pokemon or to spin Pokestops. And yeah, that did kind of happen sometimes. It has gone to the judge in California, and depending on how the judge rules, there would be some restrictions placed on Niantic, and they would then have to implement new features and restrictions into the popular game. So here are some of those features that would have to be implemented into the game, and I'm sure Niantic's probably already working on some of these because I would assume they're probably going to lose. First of which was, upon complaints of nuisance or trespass and demands of the removal of a Pokestop or gym, the company will, quote, make commercially reasonable efforts to resolve the complaint and communicate a resolution within 15 days. So if they turn your house or they turn your business into a Pokestop and you don't want it, you can complain, and within 15 days they have to resolve that issue. Now, a lot of businesses, especially in downtown areas, like being Pokestops because it's guaranteed foot traffic and people coming in and oftentimes buying things. In fact, I was out for Pokemon Go Day yesterday for Community Day, and a bunch of friends and I went to a coffee shop and bought a bunch of different coffees and foods and sat there for 2 hours and caught Pokemon and traded stories back and forth. So that gave them the business of at least 6 additional people that day. And there were other people doing the exact same thing. So there are some businesses that probably do want it removed. There's probably some things like, I don't know, graveyards where they like to put ghost Pokestops and ghost Pokemon there. Though you might not.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Pokemon are based on the environment in the area in which they're caught. So if there's ghosts, they put them near graveyards.
Yep. Next up,
That's
they
still
say
kind of fucked up, though.
a little bit.
It is a little bit.
Next up, they say owners of single-family residential properties get rights of removal within 40 meters of their properties. Okay. I don't want people always standing right outside my house or right on the edge of my sidewalk, right next to my house, catching Pokemon. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that could definitely be creepy. Like if you have little kids that you want to be able to play in your yard, and like there's always just random adults walking up to your house and staring at their phones, like at any given hour of the day, like that could be creepy.
Yep.
Can we go back to the graveyard thing? I can just see a little kid like, mommy, I just called grandma. I'm going to make her fight this Charizard.
It doesn't quite work that way, but I see your point. Next up, Niantic will have to maintain a database of complaints in an attempt to avoid poor placement of virtual creatures. Kind of okay with that. If people have been complaining about having them spawned in certain areas, legitimate complaints, not just I'm too lazy to walk up there to go and get them, it makes sense to try and not put stuff up there. When Niantic's system detects a raid of more than 10 players congregating, a warning message appears on their screens reminding them to be courteous and respectful of surroundings. Whatever, that's not going to do anything.
Look, you're driving. You need to slow down. Fuck off, Niantic.
It's a great idea.
My left nut.
This is a great idea in concept. Be like, hey, make sure you're courteous, but it's the same thing you see on any kind of game, any kind of app. People just get click happy and click right through it. The first time they'll read it and be like, well, this is bullshit, and they'll never pay attention to it again. It doesn't do anything.
But I like forcing Niantic to have to keep a database of all the complaints, because then if they get brought back into court 10 years from now, they can say, okay, well, let's see all the complaints you have, and how many of them did you deal with?
Yeah. Next up,
it makes them accountable.
Next up, they say Niantic is also working with user reviews and mapping services like Google Maps to mitigate any problems, plus maintaining a mechanism so that park authorities can request a park's hours of operation be honored. So if you try and go to the park and the park is closed, they don't want there to be Pokemon or Pokestops. It sounds
all this stuff you're talking about should have been fucking done 3 years ago.
Yeah, but to be fair, most people aren't going out Pokemon hunting, like, especially on community days and when they're out raiding. Raids and stuff stop at like 7 p.m. So most people are really not going out purposely hunting at night, I don't think, as much. They may be back in the day they used to, but I know the group that I hunt with, we predominantly just do afternoon stuff, and by 5 or 6 p.m. we're done.
I hear Niantic right now like, well, shit, the court said we have to, so let's make an attempt, I guess.
That's how most corporations are run.
And then finally, the feature that is also being requested in here is at the company's expense, Niantic will have an independent firm audit compliance with obligations during a 3-year period. Now, none of this has been enforced by the courts yet. The court very well could toss it out and be like, well, this is bullshit. But it does set an interesting precedent for how they have to, kind of respect people's property rights and stuff with these digital games.
Well, yeah, when you have a digital game that's an overlay of the world, and you decide that your game can be played everywhere in the world, you're going to have to deal with, private property issues, companies owning property issues. Like, all of that should have been stuff that they thought about ahead of time and handled a little bit better. They made the whole goddamn world part of their game. Like, you have to deal with the world.
They did this before with what's their game that was exactly the same thing. Was it Ingress? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Ingress. Yeah, the one that they remapped and turned into Pokemon Go.
Yeah. They just reskinned it.
Yep.
That's all they did. Like, yay. You can see how much I love Pokemon Go.
Hey, you don't have to love it.
Smart, though.
It's an interesting case study of how things evolve, because a lot of these augmented reality type games like this are becoming more and more popular. There was a Ghostbusters one that came out. There was a Jurassic Park one that came out. None of them have been like Pokemon Go. Niantic is also making a Harry Potter version.
Yeah.
And you know what's really going to piss me off? Because it's already kind of did. The next mainline Pokemon game better not be like Let's Go, Pikachu, or wherever the fuck. They better not be doing that stupid shit where you have to throw little balls at them and all that. I want to fucking just go back to basics. Just do that.
My understanding was that
all right,
they're
old
going
man.
back to what it was before.
It better. Or riots will happen.
Riots.
Willie's yelling at the
I will go to San
Pokemon.
Francisco.
Yes, because one person's really going to make a huge difference there.
I'm going to go to San Francisco. I'm going to start punching that Niantic building.
All that's going to do is get the cops called on you.
I want to see the news article of that.
Crotchety old bald-headed man punching building, breaking hand.
Angry man punches building in an attempt to somehow get the attention of large gaming corporation.
Angry man yells at cloud. That's basically what it is. Simpsons did it.
Just Willie yelling at the Pokemon to get off his porch.
Simpsons
Get
did
off
it.
my lawn. Still my favorite Overwatch like combo with the voice lines. Knock knock. Get off my lawn. Still my favorite back-to-backs.
So that is what I had for news of the week. It was kind of an interesting study in how this is going. Willie hopes it kills the game. He wants the game to die. He hates it. Even though Willie used to play quite a lot.
Quite a lot? I live in a rural area. Quite a lot is not that much.
Sure it wasn't.
He played some.
So that wraps up my news. Anthony, what do you got for us?
All right. In the world of nothing is new, all Hollywood does is rehash old shit. Once again, they are going back to a well-deserving well known as the well of Stephen King. Because we all know you can redo anything Stephen King again and make it great. And after shows like Castle Rock just kicked ass, and we know that's coming out for a second season. They made a hell of a lot of money on it, which I don't understand, and they screwed up the Dark Tower, but they're still going back to the well. I like it, but they still screwed it up. But what they're going to try to do is make it one more thing that, along with Star Trek and the new Twilight Zone from Justin Peele, that's one more thing they're going to try to get you to buy that goddamn CBS All Access app, because they're bringing back The Stand. Stephen King's magnum opus, the 1,000-page unedited book that's his version of This Is How the World Ends, of the giant battle of good and evil that was done in 1994 as a miniseries on ABC television that was fucking awesome for 8 hours of television that had all the restrictions of primetime TV in the 90s, and they still had a giant epic battle of good and evil with a hellacious cast. Freaking Gary Sinise, Molly Ringwald, Corin Nemec. What was the dude that he was the chief of the head cop on one of the Law and Order shows? Oh, Jamie Sheridan as Randall Flagg. Yeah, freaking Ruby Dee, Ozzie Davis, Miguel Ferreira, Matt Frewer, fucking Adam Stroke, Ray Walston, Rob Lowe. Like, it had just an utterly amazing cast, and they did a hell of a job with what, the restrictions of primetime TV. But now we're going to get an updated version of The Stand, 10 episodes set to go on the streaming service. Was it SVOD platform? Is that
streaming video on demand?
Streaming video on demand. I was like, I know that stands for something, but my brain's not wrapping around it today. But yeah, so Stephen King said, I'm excited and very pleased that The Stand is going to have a new life on this exciting new platform. The people involved are men and women who know exactly what they're doing. The scripts are dynamite. The result builds The result bids to be something memorable and thrilling. I believe it will take viewers away to a world they hope will never happen. For anybody that doesn't remember the old series, like there's dream sequences, there's there's images of God, there's crazy demon guys hunting the desert for nuclear bombs. Like there's so much weird stuff. And in an 8-hour miniseries on television, they still cut out almost half the book because there's that much in The Stand, especially the unedited version. There's entire characters that weren't brought up in the miniseries that exist inside the book. And so with them getting a 10 episode season, like they can do pretty much everything in there depending on episode length, because I'm assuming they're going to be hours a piece. I don't think they would do 10 half hours. But yeah, I mean, this gives them a chance. They could literally cover everything, and the dream sequences can get the update of today's, cutting edge CGI. So those will look fantastic. It's really going to come down to who they get to play Randall Flagg, because if your Dark Man is off, if he doesn't, give you the feeling that you are dealing with the devil in blue jeans and dusty boots, then that's like everything else falls to the wayside. That person has to nail that role. But it'll be cool to see who they get in those other roles, because there were such great actors in the series last time. So, I mean, I still haven't had anything that's made me want to get the CBS All Access pass, but this is the closest that they've gotten me. I may actually, buy it for a month to watch this once all this is done, just so I can watch The Stand.
To be fair, Twilight Zone sounds really good on CBS All Access as well.
It does too, and it's Justin Peele. The fact that that was what he wanted to do after fucking Get Out, and now Us, and now he's doing the Twilight Zone. Like that dude has some horror in his heart. Like there is some dark shit in that man's soul, and I love it.
MOON. That spells I hope they don't fuck this up.
But I said just Jordan Peele. Yeah. Yeah, one more Stephen King thing. They're going back again because all things Stephen King are always new again, and they just keep going back to them. But yeah, this is one that, I mean, it really could use an update. I love the acting of it, and I honestly, every 3 or 4 years, I go back and watch. I have the miniseries on VHS, and I'll go back and watch the whole thing all the way through. And it's also great because there's a cameo by Stephen King in it. He shows up as one of the guys on the good side.
You know how they could update it, though? Instead of like a super flu that takes out everybody, they could make it all these anti-vaxxers cause all those problems.
No, it still has to be Captain Trips, man. You can't change that part. It's got to be the super flu.
It's a funny idea, though.
No, those anti-vaxxers will just be the first to die because they'll be weak.
Well, I mean, they cause it by having these, getting all these diseases that are easily preventable, and they're fucking stupid.
It's the measles and rubella comes back and combines and becomes Captain Trips.
Yep. It's a super measles.
It's gonna be fun to see I can't think of the character's name. The guy who escapes New York, who has to go through the Holland Tunnel filled with dead bodies.
Snake Plissken?
No, in The Stand, one of the characters has to escape New York.
Sorry.
Oh, it's good.
Which is the Holland Tunnel the one that only cars can go through, or is it the taller one?
I'm not sure which one it was. It's been a while since I've seen the show and read the book.
Because I went through one of them. The one's the Lincoln Tunnel, one's the Holland Tunnel.
I think in the show and the book, I think they did the Lincoln Tunnel.
Because I think that's the one I drove through, because I couldn't go through the other one because I was in a box truck and it wouldn't fit.
Yeah, because in the Stand, 99.98% of people are fatally ended by Captain Trips, which is a super flu that gets released by the U.S. military by accident. And so a very small percentage of the population is immune to it and doesn't die. And everybody else, literally, you get the flu until it kills you. And so two of the characters in the storyline are on the island of New York when the world ends, and they have to get out, and they can't get they end up having to escape through one of the tunnels. And so there's no power, so there's no lights. And so they're literally traveling underground in tunnels filled with cars, and those cars are filled with dead bodies. Like, it's a creepy sequence. It was really well done on the TV show. But Chris, have you watched the Star Trek show on the CBS All Access one?
I have not watched it on CBS All Access.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you'd seen it or not, because I'm wondering if they have, like, if the CBS All Access, if it has the restrictions of primetime TV, or if they're more on the Netflix model, where because it's a streaming service, they can basically do whatever they want because there's no FCC.
Well, they can put whatever content they want out there. The problem, some of them are, like, I believe CBS All Access for Discovery is doing 1 episode a week, which is annoying in today's Netflix world. But
I'm thinking more content-wise, because it means they could push the more adult themes in an apocalyptic show like The Stand,
right,
where the gore, the violence, all of that, because it's a whole bunch of people killing each other as the world's ending because they realize the world's ending. And so, of course, people lose their shit. So yeah, it could be really good for pushing like the violence that we could see in this that they couldn't really go overboard with on the original ABC miniseries because it was done as primetime television.
So there's nothing that prevents them from doing whatever they want content-wise with it because it's online stuff. Now, that being said, I don't know whether they've set it up to meet some kind of ratings guidelines so that potentially they could package it and put it on TV or something else at some point in time. That I don't know.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, you have to have like an all-access version of it where they could really push that, and then they could have like a toned-down version that they release on their actual channels later, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm just ready for Stephen King to scare the hell out of me again.
He is good at that. And yeah, this is one of his stories where the supernatural aspect isn't the scary part. It's what people do to other people. All of Stephen King's his most amazing stories, it's not the supernatural part that's scary. It's how humans treat each other and deal with the supernatural part. That's what's scary, because we're all fucking monsters.
I'm waiting for that day for that to happen. I will be the biggest, the meanest, the most badassest monster of them all.
Willie just wants to be one of the children in the corn.
He who walks behind the rose.
Nice. Yep, that's what I had. The Stand is coming back. We will stand again.
Interesting.
Only my version of the Children of the Corn will be, less boring than that. Any of those fucking movies. Even that first one was boring as fuck.
I'll say they did like 9 of them, didn't they?
I think they're up to 10 or 11.
Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
Sure. I mean, the guy that played Malachi and the other one, the two, the two head children, like they did a good job. I will agree with that, but the rest of the story was just like, of the movie's like, come on, something needs to happen. Can something happen? Please, something can happen. Okay, y'all, nothing's gonna happen. Great. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Still sorry.
I don't know enough about it to chime in. That's all.
I was just thinking they could do a small crossover though, because you need an old lady to play Mother Abigail. Because CBS All Access is where they have Star Trek hidden, they could get Nichelle Nichols to play Mother Abigail on The Stand, and they could have their Star Trek crossover. Because she's now definitely getting up there. She's in her 80s now.
I'm not sure how doable that is. There were conflicting reports at one point in time that she was starting to suffer from dementia. So.
Oh, she's not doing good.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Now, other
Ruby
people
D
debunked that, but she really hasn't been out in public much. So, who knows?
Because Ruby D did a great job in the original one, but they made her look old. They made her look like she was 120.
Oh, sweet child.
Yeah, Ruby D did great in the original Stand. She was so good. Man, she was born in 1922.
Well, we'll just have to wait.
Oh, me too.
You look good
Thank you.
for 91.
We'll just have to wait and see if this is what causes Anthony to buy CBS All Access.
Yeah, it might be.
Wait. That math does not equate. 91, 1922. Wouldn't that be like 98?
No, Ruby D died at 91.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
My apologies. No, she died in 2014. She was 91 though.
I mean, I don't know how new math works.
But yeah, at 91, she was 91 in 2014. So 20 years prior to that, she did The Stand. So she was 71. But at 71, they made her look like she was about 120. Like they did a really good job on her makeup where she looked so unbelievably old in the show.
Just get Betty White. How old is she now?
90-something.
Wait,
yeah,
she's still alive, right?
Yeah, she's still alive.
And she still looks like 30 years younger than her age.
And she's still overrated to me.
Whoa.
She's fucking awesome.
Well, I mean, up until the point of when she was doing that old people's prank show. That's when I was like, all right, now you need to stop.
She's
Fuck
Betty
that.
White. She can do what she wants.
She got popular. She got super popular again for a minute. And they gave her a TV show. Fuck yeah, I'm glad she took it. I hope she got paid.
I mean, I did like the proposal, but
I've loved Betty White since the Golden Girls.
I never watched the Golden Girls.
Neither did
I still find it amazing that she was the oldest one on that show, and the character that played the oldest one on the show was the youngest, but looked the oldest.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Apparently.
You just see that old lady doing cocaine.
And Betty White was born in 1922. Holy moly.
Me too.
Yep.
Well, that does wrap up our news of the week for this week's episode of the All Things Good Nerdy Show. However, we're not quite done yet. It's that part of the show where we like to remind you that we are, in fact, part of a network that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. There's 20 plus different shows on the network that cover a variety of topics. We've got video gaming, video game culture, tabletop gaming, geek culture, specific television programs. Guys, we got all sorts of stuff, and we're adding a few new things here and there in the future, I would wager. So as much as I would love to tell you about all of the different shows and read a bunch of different promo reads, it's just impossible. But we can tell you about one specific show and say, hey, maybe you guys should go check this one out. So, Willie, what show are we sending people to this week?
Well, I was going to bring back Apathetic Willie, but I don't want to dick over another show just because I want to do a character like that. So I'm not going to do that.
Well, thank you. We appreciate
In fact,
that.
to make you even more appreciative, I'm not going to do a character at all. I'm just going to be me. This week, I'm talking about Pop X Cast, episode 89, Marvel/Netflix discussion, Punisher Season 2, and Aquaman review, and more. Recovering from the holiday break, Pop X makes its return in 2019 with a very hot topic concerning Marvel's departure from Netflix and the future of our beloved superheroes from the streaming platform. We offer insight into the future of Marvel streaming sagas, as well as review Season 2 of The Punisher, a film review of Aquaman, and so much more. Won't you please join Pop X on their debut episode of 2019? Back to you, Chris.
That's right. And a friendly reminder, they do stream live Sunday evenings. I believe it is 9 p.m. Eastern time. So you can always go and watch them live as well and be like, hey, the ATGN guys sent us over this way.
Or just Willie.
Or just give all the credit to Willie because he's the only one that matters in this. That's a good point.
I didn't do a character this time.
I
Give
know,
me something.
I'm really proud of you, Willie. I'm really proud of you. I know you're going to make me regret that because you'll probably bring Reverend Willie back next time.
Whatever.
Well,
No, there's too much bad language in there.
too much bad language in there. Well, friendly reminder though, don't forget you can watch this show and a bunch of other shows live over on geeks.live. Yes, that is a URL. Just swing down to the bottom of the page. You'll see a calendar of all of the upcoming live shows. That being said, it is time for us to start wrapping this thing up. But before we shut it down, it's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into in a little segment we call What I'm Into. So, Anthony, kick us off. What have you been getting into in the last week?
I've been playing too much Apex Legends and not sleeping well. Actually, I think I'm getting sick again. I think that's the problem. I got my new package from the Art Drop Club, so number 2 showed up. This one was from artist Levetzo, so it is all Dragon Ramen based. So got this fantastic Dragon Ramen print, and then a package of Dragon Ramen stickers, which are awesome. And then he did 2 sketch cards. So you got a little demon kid with a bowl of ramen and a kid made out of noodles. And then the added Jake Parker bonus for the robot series that he's doing. This one is the Taco Bot. So you gotta love a Taco Bot vinyl sticker.
Tacos.
Yeah. So more stickers, more stickers, which is good stuff. I'm still working my way through the 3rd book of the Galactic Football League series. I am looking forward to probably early tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go see Happy Death Day 2 because Happy Death Day is back again. That poor chick is being ran through the murder loop of horror done as a Groundhog's Day movie again by the Babyface Killer, and it looks super fucking fun, and I can't wait to watch it because I love the first one, and I can't believe they did a second one. Like it's so cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I played a lot of Apex Legends. Sad that everybody with EA access on the PC has already started playing Anthem, and I have to wait till Friday because apparently EA offered the same bullshit deal to Sony, and Sony didn't take it. So even though I paid $80 for the best version of the pre-order game, I have to wait a week after the original launch to actually start playing it, which fucking sucks. But the upside is I've been following Ben Irving and Mike, I can't remember his last name, but two of the main BioWare developers, as they've been answering all the questions about Anthem all week on, or not all week, but since Friday when the game launched for the early access, and they've been answering just tons of questions of what got patched for the 15th and which things will be patched by the 22nd, and then just seeing a lot of the skins that people are making because the Anthem account has been retweeting people doing just, my hashtag my javelin, just people doing some gorgeous skins because the customization that you can put into the skins of the javelins on that game is utterly spectacular. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Friday. I took a half day from work again, so I'm gonna get home early and get in my damn Ranger and start building stuff. And yeah, I looked over the stats on the gun that you get. Some people are complaining because the pre-order you get a legendary weapon to start. It's a fucking legendary weapon. I don't know why people are complaining. At level 1, you're going to be carrying a level 18 weapon or a power 18 weapon. And they're like, yeah, it's not going to carry you through the whole game. It's only going to carry you through half the game. It's a game that has 4 bonus stats and hits harder than anything in like the first 10 levels of the game. So I don't know why people are complaining, but it's the internet. People complain. I did like 4 hours of Dead by Daylight streaming yesterday, so I'm still definitely having fun with that game on PC and PS4. Like Willie said, the matchmaking is still the biggest problem with that game that they need to address. Because, yeah, it's on PC, too. I started my stream yesterday, Willie, and I spent the first 10 minutes as a killer in queue after the rank reset waiting, and I did not, in 10 minutes, get any survivors to pop up into my queue. I had to switch over to Survivor to play, which was very strange, because usually killer is no problem. And then I've been going through, after winning that contest from was Ivy182 on Twitter, I have been finally going through the Avatar, the complete, the Last Airbender, the complete series. He sent me the Blu-rays, and I'm now on the second disc of the Fire Nation, the 3rd season. So I've gotten over my hatred of the I'm with stupid arrow on his forehead, and I actually am loving this series. It's super fun. I love the fact that the different elemental styles are actually based on real martial arts. The comedy in it's great. The actual characters in it are awesome. Aang, Sokka, Katara, Toph, and now Zuko. Like it's such a good series. It's super fun. It's one that now that I'm almost done watching it, I'm literally looking forward to the Legend of Korra because I got that as well in the contest. And I have a feeling that once I'm done with it, I'll probably watch it all again, maybe within a year, because it is a really fun show. I'm really enjoying it. And it's nice and relaxing. It's good comedy. It's, nice Nickelodeon fare. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a really fun one. That's what I'm getting into.
Are you going to watch the live action movie?
I already watched that, and so I do not ever need to watch that again.
That whole movie felt like just one gigantic trailer, just how fast they went through every little story bit. It was like,
basically,
okay,
yeah.
Whoa, slow down. Trailer scene.
Yeah, that was some M. Night Shyamalan ding dong not goodness right there. It was that was no Split.
And the one thing that made no sense from the differences from the show to the movie, when the little prison place for the Earthbenders, in the show they were on a ship in the middle of the ocean. They couldn't bend any earth.
Yeah, they were on like a oil rig.
Yeah, and then on in the movie, oh, we're just on land over here. Like, you guys can bend earth, right?
Yeah, that made no sense.
Just do something.
Well, and I love how later on in the show you get people that basically specialize. So the one character that's an earthbender gets so good at it that she becomes a metal bender, because metal is just ore brought up from the earth. And once they realize that, some of them get real specific. Like some of the firebenders can bend lightning, and they consider lightning the purest form of fire. Yeah, like some the changes to that was something I didn't know had happened in the show from like what little bit I knew about it before. Excuse me. So yeah, watching those changes and seeing that like there's actual different aspects of it, like that there's the waterbenders that live in the swamp and their powers are different. There's the sand benders that live in the desert. So they're kind of earthbenders, but also kind of airbenders. Like the fact that there's those different versions, I really liked.
I mean, let's go with the most horrific one there is: bloodbending.
Yeah, I just watched the
Jesus.
bloodbending episode. That was really creepy, but also really cool. Because it's like, well, humans are made out of like 70% water. If you really think about it, if you can water bend and control water, you should be able to control people. Yeah, that was something when that episode started heading that direction, I'm like, are they really doing this? Because this is fucking creepy. And yeah, watching that episode, I have to figure that had to have come out on Halloween that year, the year that it came out. Because that just seems like a perfect Halloween creepy fucking episode.
I do remember I did get to watch I did get to watch the first episode as it aired. I was like, what is this? Okay, let me just get... Oh, this is very good. I wanted more instantly.
That's it. I didn't catch it when it first came out. And then, yeah, honestly, just the graphic design of that fucking tattoo just bugged me. And so I skipped it for years. But yeah, I won that contest. And I said I would watch it. And I have to admit, I was wrong. I fucking love it. It's a fantastic show. Like, it's so well made. It's so well written. The voice acting's fucking amazing. And it's still kiddie enough to where, like, it's, it's entertaining for kids, but it's not dumbed down. Like, they deal with some real, like, fucking, like, Prince Zuko's life is shit. Like, this kid goes through some shit. And, for 3 seasons, like, basically the world is just pummeling this poor kid. And, like, yeah, it's great to see the way they handled it, because it's not... They didn't dumb it down, that the aspects of like these people are going through. Like, they didn't dumb that stuff down for kids, which I really like.
Just wait for that final fight. Of course, it's got to end in a final fight. Just wait.
And I had no clue going into the show that fucking Mark Hamill's the goddamn Fire Lord.
I didn't know that either till just now.
Yeah, Mark Hamill is the main bad guy. Yeah, the first time his voice was on screen, I'm like, what? Like, no, that can't be. And I went and looked up, like, yeah, that's fucking Mark Hamill. Yeah. So being the Joker isn't enough. He's also the goddamn Fire Lord.
It's true. Before we move on to one of us, Suncast in the chat room had said, whatever you do, don't watch the Kim Possible live action movie that Disney just made. Evidently, it's hot garbage. If you enjoyed the Kim Possible cartoons, you probably had hope that it would be good. It is not.
I had a friend that was really into the naked mole weasel. I'm not sure what's wrong with him.
How'd Suncast put it? It's what you would expect of Disney Channel circa 2002.
What I do remember is her best friend. What's his name? Ron
Stoppable.
Is that really his last name?
Yeah, she's Kim Possible and he's Ron Stoppable.
Well, anyway, do you remember who does his voice?
Will Friedle, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't remember how to pronounce his last name. Also known as the big brother in Boy Meets World.
Oh,
and
nice.
Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond.
That's right.
Okay, he was Terry.
Yeah, he is Batman.
Yeah, he is.
New Batman.
Which is why it was funny. There was an episode of Boy Meets World about the same time where he actually drops the line of "I'm Batman," and I was like, "Because he is. This is pretty fantastic."
Well, that was before.
That's awesome.
No, it was in like '99 when Boy Meets World was still.
I thought it was before. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Boy Meets World ran forever.
And I just learned apparently in one of the Justice League cartoons or something, they do like a whole like epilogue thing with Batman Beyond, and Terry McGinnis is apparently a clone of Bruce Wayne.
Half. They injected Terry's father with stuff that rewrote his genetic material to be that of Bruce Wayne.
That was weird.
Yes,
yeah, so
it was Amanda Waller. So also his
of
little
course,
brother,
that bitch.
His little brother is also Bruce Wayne's son now because of that.
I am also Batman.
And in the comics, his little brother is Robin now.
Oh, nice. Did they bring his brother back and actually made him Robin?
Yeah, his little brother is Robin now.
So does he have a Robin tech suit, or is
he has a
running
Robin
short
tech
shorts?
suit?
Okay, no short shorts.
Yeah,
Thank God.
It's pretty sweet actually. So I'll go next with what I've been getting into. The list is kind of short. Went out for Pokemon Go Community Day this week. That was fun. Or yesterday, I guess, like I talked about. That was fun. It was Swine Up Day, so it wasn't the greatest Pokemon, but I had fun hanging out with people and drinking coffee. What else have I been getting into? During the week, played a little bit of Tales of Vesperia on the Switch. Nothing too crazy. Still getting caught up on TV shows and stuff that I haven't watched from last week. The big thing I got into is I kind of forgot that I pre-ordered it until it showed up in my inbox on Friday. Terry Crews, the video game, Crackdown 3.
Oh, that's what you're...
You okay there, Willie?
That's what I waited most of this episode to hear what you teased at. Fucking.
So I didn't
go
get a
on.
chance to start playing it until yesterday, and it's fine. It's fun. It's certainly nothing cutting edge, and it's nothing that should have made that game be delayed for 2.5-3 years. But it's fun going around as Terry Crews, blowing things up, climbing up buildings, and as he jumps off something, hearing Terry Crews go, "Fuck gravity." It's kind of fun.
That's fair.
It's a fun game. It is absolutely not something that
He actually says "fuck gravity."
it says "fuck gravity" in it. It's pretty great.
That's awesome.
It's a fun game. I don't know that it's actually worth the $60 it would have been. I think it was $48 with my Amazon discount. Had you been a what's the game streaming program that Microsoft runs? I can't remember. Game Pass subscriber, you would have gotten it to play for free as part of the subscription. It's totally worth being part of Game Pass, I think. I think that's the real win there, is for all these Microsoft branded games that are originals going straight to Game Pass. It's kind of a reason to subscribe.
Is GameFly still a thing?
GameFly
Yes.
does still exist.
I don't know if that's still a thing yet or not.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll probably play a little more Crackdown 3 today. I've just been having fun, though, like I said. Getting a bunch of big-ass guns, wandering around the city as Terry Crews, blowing things up, punching bad guys, and hearing him say things like, "Fuck gravity, I'm going to kill you," and stuff like that. It's fun, and I've really enjoyed on Twitter the excitement that Terry Crews has of being like, "I'm in a video game, this is great," and he's tweeting about it and interacting with fans and things like that. Terry Crews' enthusiasm is just so infectious. It's great.
He has a big bubble of energy that just exudes fucking positivity. He's awesome.
Yeah, I love Terry Crews. He's the man. And I think that's really the big things I've been getting into. So, Willie, why don't you help us wrap things up by letting us know what you've been getting into, sir?
Well, grab your Jimmy and tickle your bung because I'm bringing the sexy back.
No, stop it.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
That was unplanned. I did not tell him to do that, so I'm very happy he did that.
He's good.
So, of course, been playing Apex Legends, Dead by Daylight, and then I just got something last night. It's not like a new game that came out, but I've been seeing stuff on it recently. I'd be like, you know what? I want to try that out because I did love the first game. Ni no Kuni 2, which is, what is that director's name who did all those anime movies?
Miyazaki?
Yeah, it's pretty much the studio that did Miyazaki's animation, and Level 7, the game studio, got together and they made a beautiful looking game of Ni no Kuni 1. Something about the witch, something. I forget the whole title. But that game was amazing. And so I got this one, and it looks like it changes some of the gameplay, which for the better. And I just got to play a little bit like the first little part because I thought it was fully downloaded. Nope. Just like the little first part I could play through, and then it said, wait for the rest of it to download. I was like, great. I thought you were fully downloaded. Oh, well. So that's all I got to play of it last night. I've also been playing bring Pokemon back. Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color. Not the one that was released in America, but the sequel that was Japanese only. I got a ROM of it. Yes, I got a ROM of it. Because that's the only way I can get it. So I don't want to hear anything about it.
So what device are you playing it on then? Your laptop or?
This laptop right here, I just plug in my HDMI cord and I play it on my TV.
Makes sense.
Because do you remember when I was getting Nerd Block and Arcade Block?
Yeah.
One Arcade Block, one time they sent me this little controller right here, which is pretty much a Super Nintendo controller.
Perfect.
Nice.
And that's why I just plugs right into USB, and that's how I've been playing it. So, yeah. I'm happy I found a translation for that game, and it's been pretty fun. I'm probably about halfway through it now. So I've been playing a lot of shit. I did watch Friday. I didn't even know it came out Friday. I thought it came out before Friday, but I was wrong. I watched it all the same day it came out. The Umbrella Academy, which I loved, except for the ending. I mean, not like the ending was bad. It's just, wait, what? Like they could have ended it like an episode before, and it would have been. I don't want to give too much away, but it's cliffhangery.
Yeah,
Let's just say
spoilers.
that. Just cliffhangery. It was like if they ended the episode before, like it sure would have been a little bit of a cliff. Like, what are they gonna do next? But but it made it a whole lot worse. Like, Jesus, what are they gonna do next now? That's pretty much it. But I mean, I enjoyed the whole series. up until that. I just want more is the problem. And if that's your biggest problem, then you're not doing that bad.
That's a good problem to have.
It was kind of like you brought it up earlier, Castle Rock. I did not like that because of the ending. Like, the ending kind of ruined that whole show for me because I need a little bit of explanation about what the fuck's going on. Just a little bit. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Is that whole episode of his backstory true or not? Because if that happened, then that can't be true. What the fuck is going on? And of course, from what I hear, that's going to be like an anthology show. So next season's not going to have anything to do with the first season.
Nope, probably not. I'm only sad because Mark Bernardin apparently isn't going to be writing on the next season.
Yeah, so I just want answers. That's all I want, and apparently I'm never going to get them. So that's what soured me for that show. I liked it.
I see it. I love it, and I can't wait for more fucking Castle Rock. It was so good.
Well, I mean, when you have a whole episode on one of the characters' backstories that you really need to know, and then turns out it might not even be true, like, so that whole episode's just a waste of time.
No, that whole episode is presenting you with a possibility.
That is probably not true because of what happened in the last episode. Like, wait, what? No, what? No, stop. Explain. I need some words to tell me what the fuck is going on here, because you can't just throw that at me and expect me to be okay with it, because I am not.
Yes, they can, and they did, and now you have to deal with it.
I did not consent to be fooled like this.
You did when you turned on Hulu.
I am triggered. But yeah, watch Umbrella Chronicles. It is fantastic. Yeah, Umbrella Academy. I know I keep fucking that. Why do I keep saying Chronicles?
I don't know what's wrong with your head. There's no Chronicles. It's Umbrella Academy.
Well, I keep meaning that. So, just fill it in your head if I say it wrong. It is fantastic, and they brought in an actor from Robert Sheehan. I forget. He has a weird last name. But he brought him back in, he was in Misfits, and I love that show. It's also on Hulu. And if you haven't seen Misfits, watch the first 2.5 seasons, because after that it gets a little weird, and I don't like where they go with it. But the first 2 seasons are great, and then the next half, it's pretty good. So definitely, and it has what's his name from Game of Thrones, the sadistic motherfucker that. From the Battle of the Bastards. He has a very weird name too. I can never remember his name. It's like it's very like Gaelic or something. It's like a very weird spelling and pronunciation to it. God, what is his name? He chops up Greyjoy's dick off.
Yeah, I remember the character. I'm trying to find the name.
Barking up the wrong tree, man. Never watched Game of Thrones.
Trust me, I'm barking up just the right tree.
Ewan Rion.
Yeah. See, it has a weird spell. It's weird to remember.
He plays Simon on Misfits, and that's what threw me off in Game of Thrones, because I watched Misfits first.
Yes,
where
me too.
He's the nicest, dorkiest character in the world, and then he shows up in Game of Thrones, and he's a sadistic fucking psychopath.
Well, I mean, he is kind of weird in Misfits, though.
He's weird, but he's weird because he's like an awkward goofball.
Like, I just hear Nathan, the guy who's in both shows. He goes, "What are you, some kind of pedophile?"
Yeah, and Ewan Rowan, he's a hell of an actor.
Oh yeah, and a good singer too.
It shocked me when I first saw his character on Game of Thrones how sadistic he is, because he was such the nice guy in Misfits. Like, it was shocking the change in character aspects of how good his acting is. The guy's an amazing actor.
And one of the girl's powers in Misfits is like whenever you physically touch her, you get super horny and start saying some weird shit over whatever's in your mind. And when his character does it, I want to lick your armpit. Like, what?
It was weird.
What?
That show was so strange. It was so well done.
It was good though. Yeah, it's British, and it's awesome. Misfits, definitely watch it. And Umbrella Academy.
Oh, hey, you got the title right.
And I wish they would explain a little bit more of that. I did go on YouTube and watch some, like, what is the comics like? It's like a review of that, like storyline of that, and there's some big differences, but I like the differences they made. And Ellen Page is in it, and she's back in the news with the whole Chris Pratt thing. I'm not going to get into it because that's a whole weird thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to go down that path right now.
Well, I can say Chris Pratt did respond in a very gentlemanly way, so I can't be angry at that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, that's what I've been getting. Oh wait, tomorrow night, going to go to Winston-Salem for a Game of Thrones pub trivia. So that's also something too.
You better start rewatching some Game of Thrones. Make sure you're ready to go.
Oh, my mind is like a safe. It's all up there.
Fair. I've got Geek Trivia coming up soon. I think it's next week, but I'm not 100%.
Problem is, it's a safe that Willie doesn't have the combo for.
Or he lost the key to.
What are we talking about?
Exactly. I rest my
Exactly.
case. So,
But yeah, that's what I've been getting into. And hey, come meet me up at Winston-Salem. I forget what the place is called.
So that does wrap us up for this week. Thank you, everyone who did join us. We've been into some pretty decent shenanigans. Hopefully, we'll get into some more stuff, and we can tell you all about it next week. Before we shut this thing down, you guys have any final thoughts for us?
Going into the show next Sunday, I will have just played like 24 hours of Anthem, so that's probably the only thing I'll be talking about.
That's fair.
I'm still picturing that mouse getting that cookie. What's he gonna do with that big cookie?
What's he gonna do
You
with
can't eat
that
all
cookie?
that.
That's
You
crazy.
can't eat all that. What are you gonna do?
So thank you, everyone who did join us today. Don't forget, we do this live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on Geeks.live. That is the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. But all that being said, it's time for us to start shutting this thing down. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I hope you had a good time. Whatever.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.
Willie, I think you're just stupid.